Today I'm going to be looking at more photographs from Australia, and this is 24 of the most infuriating photos ever taken in Australia. If you're from Australia, tell me if you find these infuriating. Let's look at them. Number 1, not only this tomato sauce charge, but also the outrageous thought of paying $1 for chicken salt. So of course I know that in Australia it's kind of normal that you have to pay for tomato sauce when you go to fish and chip shop. 30 cents, is that reasonable? Chicken salt for $1, but it seems a bit crazy. I mean, everybody says it's so good. A lot of people say they can't go without it when they get their fish and chips or their chips. So charging $1 seems to be taking advantage of people. Maybe I would have thought maybe even if you go to like the supermarket, you could probably buy like a tube of it for roughly about that. I don't know, maybe. What do you think about paying $1 for chicken salt? And how much is it normally? Do you usually get it for free, or do you always need to pay for it like tomato sauce? Number 2, this pic of a perfectly good Parm and Chips completely ruined by the placement of the chicken. So I guess this is the chicken underneath this cheese. Are these chips got chicken salt on them actually? Maybe that's just they're extra crispy, but they look like they've got some sort of seasoning. But why would the chicken placement be annoying? Is it maybe like it'll make the chips soggy under there? Something like that? Tell me if that infuriates you and what would be annoying about that. A note to chefs everywhere, parma on the side, not on the top. Okay. Number 3, and then we have this abomination of a Parmigiana nickname, the humble Parmo. I'm curious to know what Southerners think of these things. Whoa, that's a bad boy, man. Parmy and Parma advocates need to unite against a new threat, the Parmo. What I think might be wrong here, because this is Casual UK from Reddit, I'm going to guess this is actually like in the UK. This is like a British version of it or something like that maybe. This is a huge one. It's definitely British chips from a fish and chip shop. You see they're like thicker, lacking chicken salt of course, probably got a lot of salt and vinegar, but Parmo rather than Parmy or Parma, what do you call it? Does calling it a Parmo annoy you? I guess maybe that's just like a regional variation in the UK. Number 4, when the guy who took your coffee order swings the iPad around, hands you the card payment machine and you see this. Add a tip. I guess that could be maybe infuriating. Is tipping, I from my knowledge, I don't think tipping is part of Australian culture. Is it? I think that a lot of places just pay a living wage in Australia, so they don't actually require a tip. But maybe some people just feel under pressure when they get shown this to give a tip. I think you should always give a tip if you get good service, if you like feel like it. I guess you can always pick no tip as well, but maybe it's just people get like anxiety from seeing this, feeling like they're forced into giving a tip if it's not necessary. Number 5, this drop pie at the footy. Wow. Moment of silence for the pie. I can feel the pain for that one. Obviously when I go to like football in the UK, we get pies, not a Aussie meat pie, but we get similar pies. Dropping it would be an absolute nightmare, especially on like a cold day. You're expecting this nice warm pie and it's just flat in the ground like that. Yeah, I think, is that the grease pouring out of it? Maybe it's just shadow. Even if your team wins, it's still an overall loss for the day. That's probably true. This outrageous price point, potato scallop, $3. So that's what a potato scallop is. I seen someone mention that on the previous Aussie fish and chips video I made. We have these in the UK as well. In Scotland, definitely, they're called potato fritters. And the last time I lived in the UK, they were about 30 or 40p, if that. $3 seems a bit crazy. They must be very good. How do you like to eat your potato scallops? I actually like to eat them on like a buttered roll with a lot of salt and vinegar. Super good, man. I've not had one of them for years and years. Though some people might also take offence to the wording choice. Do you call it something else in other parts of Australia? 7, getting to a party and this being the only thing on the table. Shapes originals. Savoury. Why is that bad? Is it like a boring snack, or what's wrong with them? Number 8, the straight up spit in the face. No one even willingly orders a fillet of fish. Lesson learned, don't go to Macca's at 4 PM Friday Arvo when there's 100 high schoolers ordering soft serves. Ordered a McSpicy and got a fillet of fish. Effing spewing. I didn't know Aussie said effing spewing as well. We say that a lot in Scotland when we're pissed. Love to hear that. But getting a fillet of fish when you order the McSpicy, I mean, they've even given it in the McSpicy box. That's a kick in the teeth. That's like almost purposely done, man. Yeah, tell me if you like a fillet of fish. Does anybody like that? Let's see. 9. This serving of Veggie Mate, which is sure to put some lead in your pencil. Whoa. That looks like someone's just tarred the road. That's thick, man. That's a pro. That's like someone who's like either had a hard life or just very, very experienced in their Vegemite consumption, man. Have you ever eaten it that thick? Would you try it? What do you think it would taste like? Surely that's too much by anyone's standards. That's a real, yeah, that's a real photograph. I don't know if that's infuriating or just like scary, man. 10. Speaking of Vegemite, this breakfast abomination. Yeah, man, I hate that. See the butter in there. For me, I'd literally go through the effort to wipe my knife just to not do that. That sort of thing. I don't know. For some reason, it makes me feel like uneasy. I feel a bit sick when I see things like that. I hate like mixing things, like when there's butter in the jam or something like that. My wife definitely does that. She likes to double dip sauces as well. So if you go somewhere and get like tomato sauce and mustard, she'll dip in both and there'll be trails in both. It makes me like feel really uneasy. My son does it worse. We have like a lot of sauces in the fridge. He'll have like, say, mustard, chili sauce, tomato, brown sauce, and he'll mix it between all four and it'll just be a complete mess. Psychopathic behaviour. If I don't make videos for a couple of days, he's probably ended me, man. But yeah, at least lick the butter off before sticking the knife in the Vegemite. I don't know about licking it, but yeah, you can just wipe it maybe. Leaving this terrible way to make a glass of Milo. Okay, so I'm guessing it's because it's not put in first and mixed together, but I guess you can mix it afterwards. Because the problem with Milo is like, if you put that in the bottom, put the milk, it will sometimes like leave these chunks at the bottom, which can be actually quite nice to scrape off and eat as well. Unless you just want to drink it like this and get it's like drinking a margarita, but instead of having the salt around the edge, it's Milo. Again, that's probably psychopathic behaviour, but tell me what you think about that one. Okay, the Milo trails look pretty, but how are you going to stir that? How's it going to dissolve properly? I think if you just give it a kind of aggressive stir, you can get there. 12. This delicious pavlova instantly ruined by the decoration. The Americans taking over everything, man. Got to plant their flag on a pavlova, and that's just not even going to be enjoyable to eat because you're not going to have a good spread of the... Someone's getting all those blueberries. We don't slap our flag on your apple pie or hot dogs. Quite right. 13. When you get to the beach and see these baddies lined up along the shore. What is that? Is that crabs? Yeah, that'd be frightening. 14. This attempted login. My gov. Enter code. And guess I'm never doing my taxes. So I guess maybe like when it gets close to like tax... the deadline for doing your taxes, a lot of people try to enter this and maybe kind of crashes the system. Tell me if you've ever had to go through that. 15. This heartbreaking headline. 7-Eleven announces the end of the $1 coffee and Slurpees as prices become unsustainable. Yeah, man. That's the cost of living crisis for you. 16. This genius of a man who ruined it all with his choice of his tap beer choice. He's went for Foster's. Okay, I'm going to guess this guy's British by his clothing. The England flag prominent here. It looks like a cool bar, but yeah, Foster's. I guess there's a lot of other things you could have had rather than Foster's. Man builds incredible pallet bar in his back garden for £90. Fair enough, man. £90 is good going if you're getting a nice bar in your back garden. 17. This error message which loves to pop up at least once a day. Video unavailable. The uploader has not made this available in your country. I get that a lot here in Malaysia as well, especially for football highlights. That is infuriating. 18. Every single time you look at shipping fees, 1,000 Aussie dollars to ship to Australia for a product that's $8. That's absolutely madness. But I guess a lot of these like random things you buy on Amazon maybe ship from the US and China and things, so I guess shipping is going to cost a lot, but $1,000, that is just mental, man. How is that even getting delivered in private jet or something? 19. This double blowout. That is unfortunate. How would two of them even go at the same time? I mean, those look well worn. You can see the pattern's all gone, but two at the same time. Yeah, man, that's a bit of a nightmare. Only salvageable if you have two bread ties on hand, okay. 20, this abomination of a sausage sizzle. Okay, what is wrong with this? So I guess, I mean the mustard's everywhere. Do people usually have mustard on a sausage sizzle? The onions look like they could maybe be bigger or more plentiful. I don't know. Tell me what you think about that, if it's bad. Onions on the bottom, mustard, no tomato, disgraceful. Well, strong words. Yeah, maybe so you usually get tomato sauce on here, is it? I don't mind a bit of mustard. I'd have mustard and tomato sauce, but if that's not normal, then maybe not. But onions on the top, yeah, I guess it's all going in your mouth anyway. Tell me if that would infuriate you. 21, when your car's almost empty and you drive past the servo to see this. Okay, yes, prices have gotten better lately, but for how long? So is that expensive? Tell me how the prices are at the moment. 22, this is proof that nothing is safe from inflation. Miranda GG Passion Pop Original, $7. I remember when it was just $4.50. What even is this? That is a crazy increase, but just 23, just this Veggie Mate Ice Snack 2.0. What even is this? Looking at the colour, it looks like maybe is it mixed with like peanut butter or something. That looks like the colour of peanut butter as opposed to Vegemate's normal black colour. Tell me if you've tried this, what you think about it. 24, and finally the audacity of Alan's to release this into the wild. Alan's spearmint leaves. They don't actually, so it's like some sort of like sugary gummy. Why does the worst flavour get its own bag? Spearmint, yeah man, spearmint's not the most exciting flavour for a candy or a sweet. Tell me if you've tried them, what they like, but yeah, tell me if any of those infuriate you, what you think about those photographs. Thanks.